Close-up cinematic shot of a South Asian man in his early 30s, short black hair, light stubble, wearing a plain navy blue t-shirt and dark jeans, sitting on a couch with a worried expression. Dim living room lighting, dramatic mood, direct eye contact with camera as if speaking to viewer. Split image cinematic composition showing the same South Asian man gently stroking a medium-sized brown and white short-haired dog with floppy ears, both looking content, warm home lighting, contrasted with a subtle dark shadow overlay symbolizing hidden harm, symbolic visual metaphor. Medium shot of the South Asian man sitting on a sofa looking directly at the camera with a serious, concerned expression, soft lamp lighting, cozy living room background, YouTube intro-style framing. Close-up of the K9 Mind logo animation concept, a stylized dog silhouette with a glowing brain outline, dark navy blue background, clean, modern branding, cinematic, tech-inspired design. Wide shot of the South Asian man sitting cross-legged on the living room floor, his dog beside him, both facing the camera, warm, inviting lighting, subscribe button graphic overlay concept, friendly, welcoming atmosphere. Close-up of the man's hand hovering over a smartphone screen, subscribe button glowing, dog resting head on his lap in the background, soft indoor lighting, shallow depth of field. Medium shot of the South Asian man wrapping both arms tightly around the brown and white dog, hugging it close to his chest. Dog's body stiff and still, living room background, warm afternoon light through a window. Close-up of the dog's face during the hug, eyes wide showing whites at the corners, whale eye, ears pinned back flat against its head, mouth closed tightly, tense body language, soft indoor lighting, emotional cinematic close-up. Close-up of the dog's chin resting on the man's shoulder during the hug, its eyes distant and body frozen, man smiling unaware, warm lighting, shallow depth of field, poignant contrast between human joy and canine stress. Split comparison image, on one side a human mother embracing her child warmly, both relaxed, on the other the South Asian man hugging the brown and white dog, with the dog showing stiff, tense posture, side-by-side cinematic composition illustrating biological contrast. Illustrative wide shot of two dogs in a park, one larger dog pinning down a smaller dog with its body, demonstrating dominance behavior. Dusty ground, midday sunlight, realistic animal behavior scene. Close-up of the brown and white dog's face showing a stress signal, ears pinned back and eyes wide with visible white sclera, dim lighting, unsettling emotional close-up representing the threat response. Stylized documentary-style image of a stack of printed photographs scattered on a wooden table, each showing different people hugging their dogs, soft overhead lighting, research and study concept visual. Close-up of one photograph on the table showing a dog's face with pinned-back ears and a closed, tense mouth while being hugged, magnifying glass resting beside it, academic research aesthetic. Close-up of a dog's face yawning during a hug, stress signal visible, eyes half closed, soft lighting, cinematic detail shot emphasizing subtle discomfort. Close-up of the dog's tongue briefly lip-licking while being embraced, tight framing, warm ambient light, illustrating a subtle stress cue. Medium shot of the same brown and white dog standing completely still and rigid in the man's arms, body tense, tail low, eyes fixed forward blankly, living room setting, emotionally heavy composition. Close-up of the dog's eyes looking distant and resigned while being held, a subtle visual representation of learned helplessness, soft shadow across its face, muted color grading. Medium shot of the South Asian man sitting on the floor, this time gently scratching behind the dog's ears with one hand, dog visibly relaxed, eyes half closed in contentment, warm golden lighting, warm and peaceful mood. Close-up of the man's hand slowly stroking along the dog's back in long, calm motions, dog leaning into the touch with relaxed body language, cozy home interior, natural window light. Wide shot of the man sitting quietly on the floor while the dog voluntarily approaches him and leans its body against his leg, both calm and relaxed, warm afternoon light, tender emotional composition. Close-up of the dog's face completely relaxed, eyes soft and half-closed, mouth slightly open in a content pant, warm lighting, peaceful cinematic close-up, representing true affection. Medium shot of the South Asian man opening the front door of his home, keys in hand, dog waiting a few feet away with a slightly nervous posture, dim entryway lighting, tense atmosphere. Close-up of the dog's face showing flattened ears, tucked tail, and eyes averted downward as the man enters through the door, dim hallway lighting, emotional tension, realistic behavioral detail. Wide shot of the man standing in the doorway with an angry expression, arms crossed, dog cowering slightly near the wall with lowered body posture, dramatic contrast lighting, tense home interior scene. Split-screen concept image, one side shows a treat bag on the kitchen counter untouched, on the other shows crumbs on the floor, symbolizing the eaten or not eaten experiment setup, clean kitchen lighting, documentary style. Medium shot of a South Asian researcher in a lab coat reviewing behavioral data on a clipboard, a dog sitting nearby on an examination table, clinical lighting, academic research environment. Close-up of a dog's submissive posture, body lowered, ears back, tail tucked, standing before an owner figure, emotional lighting, illustrating the misunderstood, guilty look. Medium shot of the South Asian man raising his voice with an angry expression, hand gesturing sharply, dog flinching backward with wide eyes and lowered head, dim dramatic lighting, tense emotional scene. Close-up of the dog's body flinching and startling, ears pinned, muscles tensed, as if reacting to a sudden loud noise, shallow depth of field, dramatic shadow lighting. Wide shot of the man walking quickly across the living room, the same brown and white dog cowering low near the furniture, watching him nervously, moody blue-toned lighting, emotional storytelling frame. Close-up of the dogs lying under a table, body pressed low to the ground, eyes wide and alert, avoiding eye contact, dim interior lighting, emotional composition. Medium shot of the South Asian man kneeling calmly beside the dog, offering a treat gently with an open palm, dog cautiously sniffing forward, soft, warm emotional tone. Close-up of the man calmly redirecting the dog's attention with a toy, kind facial expression, dog's body language shifting from tense to curious, natural daylight through a window. Wide shot of the South Asian man walking his brown and white dog on a leash down a dusty neighborhood street lined with modest homes, dog pulling forward hard against the leash, taut leash line visible, midday sun, dynamic action shot. Close-up of the dog's front paws digging into the ground while pulling forward on the leash, muscles tense, mouth open in excited panting, motion blur suggesting forward force, dusty street background, South Asian urban setting. Medium shot of the man being pulled forward off balance slightly, gripping the leash tightly, frustrated expression, dog straining ahead towards another dog in the distance, busy street atmosphere, South Asian urban setting. Close-up of the dog's face mid-walk, eyes wide and alert, tongue out, panting heavily, signs of frustrated arousal, harsh midday sunlight creating high-contrast shadows. Wide establishing shot of the University of Bristol campus building, stone architecture, students walking by, overcast daylight lighting, academic reference visual. Medium shot of the South Asian man standing still on the sidewalk, leash held firmly, refusing to move forward as the dog strains ahead, determined, calm expression, midday lighting, instructional visual moment. Close-up of the leash going slack as the dog turns back to look at the man questioningly, ears slightly raised in confusion, transitional lighting from tense to calm, symbolic training moment. Wide shot of the man and dog walking together down the street with a loose leash, dog walking calmly beside him, both content, warm late afternoon light, peaceful resolution scene. Medium shot of the South Asian man placing a metal dog bowl filled with kibble onto the kitchen floor, dog immediately diving in to eat quickly, indoor kitchen lighting, everyday domestic scene. Close-up of the dog's face eating rapidly from the bowl, head down, fast gulping motion, kitchen tile floor, soft overhead light. Wide symbolic shot of a wild ancestral dog-like canine sniffing and tracking through tall grass in a natural outdoor setting, golden hour lighting, illustrating evolutionary hunting instinct. Close-up of the wild canine's nose close to the ground, intensely focused, tracking a scent trail through grass and dirt, cinematic nature documentary-style lighting. Medium shot of the South Asian man's now empty dog bowl on the kitchen floor, dog sitting nearby looking around restlessly, timer graphic overlay showing 45 seconds, clean kitchen lighting. Wide shot of a research lab table with various enrichment feeding tools laid out, a puzzle feeder, a snuffle mat, and a Kong toy, soft overhead lighting, clean academic presentation style. Close-up of a brown and white dog similar in appearance nosing through a snuffle mat, searching for hidden kibble pieces, focused expression, warm indoor lighting, enrichment feeding demonstration. Medium shot of the South Asian man scattering kibble across the grass in a small backyard, dog eagerly sniffing and searching through the greenery, warm afternoon sunlight, joyful engagement.